Welcome to another podcast where my lips do not match the voice coming out of the speaker. Sabres and Blue Jackets. Didn't actually watch the entire game, and before you get on my case, I watched the first and the third periods, and for the second period, me and my girlfriend took it outside, put the radio on in the car, and played hockey during the game, which was pretty fun. It's always nice to listen to the game on the radio every once in a while. And yeah, the Sabres came out with a victory in a game that they really didn't need to win and really had no reason to try in, but good to end the season on a high note, on a winning streak, roll into the playoffs, etc., etc. Um, Yeah, it looked like basically what it was from what I saw, just a game that the Sabres didn't have a whole lot of stake in, but also a game in which they were pretty clearly the more talented team, and they came out on top, thanks largely in part to Craig Rivet's stupidity, giving them a 5-minute power play, which resulted in 2 goals, putting the Sabres ahead 5-3. And yeah, not a whole lot to say. I mean, it was what everyone expected it to be. Pretty relaxing, low key, not a lot of physicality aside from the Gervais incident. And the Sabres won, so good for them. Rough split, Miller and Enroth, and like I said yesterday, I really didn't care how that went down. I trust the coaching staff to make the right decisions in that case, as well as in who should play and who should sit, with Vanek sitting. So that's fine for me to see. So I will just get right into my 3 stars, 3 black holes, for a game that really didn't matter a whole lot. Um, First star, I did see the highlights. Um, so, that's interesting. I did see the highlights, so I saw the goals and all the important things. First star, I will give to. I will split it between Jason Pominville and Paul Gaustad, both with a goal and an assist, both playing major time on both ends of the special teams. And Gaustad was 11 and 6 on faceoffs. More on faceoffs later. Um, Second star, give it to a guy I'm glad picked up his game. Brad Boys had 3 assists. Much, much better than last night's effort. Also, the same goes for Tyler Ennis. Who I'm gonna say will split that second star with Boys. Ennis picking up his 20th goal of the season, and found out today that Ennis was the player that was sick last night, which I expected. I thought it was just based on how awful the line was. I thought it was either Boys, Ennis, or Stafford, and most likely Boys or Ennis, and it was Ennis. So um, pat myself in the back for that one, I guess. Ennis splitting that second star with a goal, a nice looking goal in his 20th of the season, and the third star, I think I will split that as well, between Mike Weber and Chris Butler. Butler was first on the team with 21 minutes, 4 seconds, had a goal on his own. And that's great to see from another player that a lot of people had written off for dead, especially earlier in the year and with his very suspect play last year, but he's put together a string of pretty solid efforts late in the season this year, and that's good to see. And Weber was third on the team with 20 minutes and 6 seconds behind Tyler Myers, who pulled up 4 seconds short of Butler. And just another steady, dependable game from him, boatload of shorthanded minutes, and that's what you like to see from a young defenseman, especially one of Weber's skills. Just nice, low-key, solid effort night in and night out. And led the team with 5 hits as well, should be noted. So good on Weber. 3 black holes. My first black hole I am going to give to Tim Connolly, which isn't really a bad thing. Again, it's a team in a game where you kind of expect the team to not really show up. I would think that Tim Connolly is going to be one of those players that's definitely not going to show up, and he was just adequate. No goals, no assists, -1. A place where he was not even adequate was at the face-off die. He was 0 and 15, which is nothing short of impressive, really. You'd think you could just like die out of the puck and win at least 1 out of 15 faceoffs, but Connolly lost all of them, and that's surprising because he's been one of our better faceoff guys as of late. For a little while, Lindy was trusting him almost as much as he trusts Gaustad to win key faceoffs. So hopefully that's just a little bit of an aberration and just a product of the attitude of the night and just trying to get through the game smoothly. Second black hole. I'll give it to Patrick Kaleta, which is probably a little unfair since it was his first game back from injury, and I've heard reports that he's not quite where he needs to be in terms of strength and conditioning. But a pretty pedestrian game from him, and that's kind of been the book on him this season, unfortunately. But hopefully he's another guy who can use these couple days of rest and come out flying in the playoffs. And third black hole, you know what? I'll just let that one evaporate since it was a pretty good effort in a very low-key game that nobody really needed to try hard in. And just leave it at that. Call it a good finish to the season and move on into the playoffs. Speaking of the playoffs, looks like the team we beat last night is the team that we are going to have in the first round. We will be traveling to Philadelphia for games 1 and 2, which are most likely going to be Thursday, Saturday, because the 76ers play at home on Wednesday, which is when the playoffs start, and I've heard that the arena football team plays at home on Saturday, also in that building, which I don't think matters as much depending on when they play, because Saturday you have the luxury of having afternoon games, but or Friday, that's Friday, I'm sorry, Friday. Yeah, so the arena team plays late Friday, so it looks like Thursday, Saturday is the best bet. Monday or Tuesday would probably be that first Sabres home game. I hope the Sabres can bring it back to Buffalo, at least tie it 1-1, and produce a good atmosphere in the plaza for the playoffs. And I'll probably see you guys then. I hope to make it out to the plaza at least once, and if all goes well, 3 times. So that'll be it for tonight. In another old-time Japanese movie edition of my podcast. Well,